You might know English, you might even be fluent, but if you don't understand the specific language of the modern workplace, meetings can still feel confusing. Emails can be stressful. Simple conversations can feel awkward. It's like knowing all the rules of the road, but not understanding the street signs in a new city. You can get by, but you're not moving with confidence. This gap in knowledge can make you feel like you're on the outside looking in, even when you have incredible ideas to contribute. It's a silent barrier that can hold you back from promotions, leadership opportunities, recognition you truly deserve. Today, we are going to fix that. This isn't about memorizing a dictionary of stiff, formal words that no one actually uses. This is about learning the real, living language of business, as it's spoken in offices across the United States, Canada. We will uncover the phrases that signal confidence, build trust, help you navigate any professional situation with ease and grace. By the end of our time together, you will no longer feel lost in translation. Instead, you will have the tools to make your voice heard, to share your expertise clearly, and to feel like you truly belong at the table where decisions are made. Think about a time you were in a meeting and someone said, "Let's circle back," or "What's the bandwidth for this project?" You likely understood the words, but the hidden meaning felt just out of reach. This experience is incredibly common, and it's not a reflection of your intelligence or your English skills. It's simply a matter of not being taught the specific code that native speakers learn through years of immersion. These expressions are shortcuts that convey complex ideas about priorities, deadlines, and responsibilities. Once you learn to decode them, you unlock a new level of understanding and influence within your organization. My promise to you is simple. By the end of this guide, you will understand essential business expressions that will transform your professional life. You will not only know what they mean, but you will also know how to use them naturally and confidently in your own conversations. We will demystify the corporate jargon that once felt intimidating, turning points of confusion into moments of connection. You will learn to speak the language of leadership, enabling you to articulate your thoughts with precision and authority. This journey is about empowering you to step into your full potential at work without hesitation. To make sure this learning sticks, we will use a powerful, practical method. For each key phrase, we follow a clear 4-part formula built for real-world use, not just theory. First, a simple, plain English definition so you immediately grasp the core meaning. No complicated explanations. Second, a natural, spoken example so you hear it in a real work context. This shows tone and flow. Third, crucial, a common mistake non-native speakers make. See what not to do so you avoid awkward moments and gain confidence. Understanding pitfalls is as important as knowing the right phrasing. Finally, at least one alternative phrase for each term to expand your vocabulary and choose what feels authentic. This method makes you internalize, not just memorize. The guide feels like a conversation with a trusted mentor, not a lecture. I'll prompt you to pause and repeat key expressions out loud. Saying the words yourself helps you own them. We'll have mini recaps regularly to reinforce learning and keep it fresh. The structure maximizes retention and prevents overwhelm. Everything is localized for US and Canadian business environments. Many terms are universal, but we'll highlight North American nuances. This keeps the language current, relevant, and appropriate. You'll learn phrases your colleagues, your manager, and your clients use right now. At the end, a clear call to action will help you make this a real-life habit, so your progress continues after you finish. To make your learning journey logical and easy to follow, we have broken down the essential terms into distinct parts. Each part builds on the last, taking you from the fundamentals of daily conversation to the advanced language of leadership. Core conversation, meetings, written communication, advanced strategy. We will now cover the core business conversation terms: office talk, team huddles, casual professional interactions, decision-making, setting priorities, giving updates, expressing agreement or disagreement productively. Mastering these is the foundation for everything else. Now, meetings and corporate language, project kickoffs, weekly check-ins, strategic planning sessions, alignment, accountability, strategy, managing deadlines, performance, understand subtext, and navigate meetings with strategic awareness, emails, reports, and professional politeness. Phrases that work in spoken and written contexts. Soften a request so it doesn't read like a demand. Push back on an idea professionally. Follow up without sounding aggressive or impatient. Formal versions, semi-formal versions, casual versions, advanced everyday business expressions. Sound like a senior, confident, fluent professional. Assessing risk, identifying opportunities, discussing high-level strategy, signal strategic thinking and the bigger picture, when to use these terms, and when not to. Equip yourself with the language of leadership. All right, let's dive into our first set of expressions. These are the building blocks of everyday office conversation. In the kitchen, in quick team huddles, in casual check-ins. Mastering these will give you an immediate boost in confidence. They are all about action, decisions, progress. We will cover key terms in this section, following our simple, practical formula for each one. Remember the formula. A simple definition, a natural example, a common mistake to avoid, and a flexible alternative. Let's begin with a very common phrase, to circle back. In simple terms, this just means to discuss something later. It's a polite way of postponing a conversation without dismissing it entirely.
That's a great point about the marketing budget, but we don't have the final numbers yet. Can we circle back to this on Friday?
A common mistake is using it for something that needs an immediate answer. For instance, I'll circle back on whether I can attend the 2 p.m. meeting isn't ideal if the organizer needs to know now. A great alternative is, can we pick this up again on Friday? Or, let's revisit this next week. Next up, bandwidth. When someone asks about your bandwidth, they mean your capacity to take on more work. It's a metaphor comparing your time and energy to internet bandwidth.
Do you have the bandwidth to help with the new client proposal?
My plate is pretty full this week, but I can probably free up a few hours.
What's the deadline?
Do you have time for this? Are you able to take this on? Let's move on to another phrase, to get the ball rolling. This means to start a project or an activity. It creates a sense of momentum and action.
We have all the approvals we need, so let's get the ball rolling on the project kickoff.
A common error is using it for something already well underway.
Let's get the ball rolling.
A simple replacement is, let's get started or let's begin. It's direct, clear, and carries the same energy. Welcome to the next section, where we step out of the casual office hallway and into the conference room. This section is all about decoding the specific language of meetings, strategy, alignment, accountability, deadlines. Understanding them is key to not just following the conversation, but actively contributing to it. These terms can sometimes feel like a secret code, but we are going to break it down so you can use them with confidence. What these phrases mean, how they are used in real meetings, and what your boss really means when they say them. Let's start with a classic, on the same page. This phrase simply means to have a shared understanding or to be in agreement.
Before we move on, I want to make sure we're all on the same page about the project goals.
A common mistake is to overuse it, which can make you sound repetitive or even a bit condescending. For instance, asking, "Are we on the same page?" after every single point is unnecessary. Does everyone agree with this approach? Or are we all aligned on this? Next is alignment. This is a very common corporate word that means ensuring everyone is working together toward the same goal.
Or every department is working together toward the same goal.
It's a step beyond just being on the same page. It implies coordinated action.
We need to have better alignment between the sales and marketing teams on this campaign. A wrong usage would be to apply it to a simple opinion, like, "I'm not in alignment with you on the color of the button." It's meant for bigger, strategic topics.
What your boss really means when they say we need alignment is often, stop working in silos and start communicating with each other.
We need to make sure we are all working together. Next, we have to drill down. This expression means to explore something in greater detail. Imagine starting with a big topic, then digging deeper and deeper for more specific information.
These are the high-level sales numbers, but now let's drill down into the regional performance.
A mistake is to use it when you don't actually have more details to provide, which can make you look unprepared. For example, saying "let's drill down" and then having no data is an empty promise. Let's look at this in more detail, or let's examine the specifics. Now we arrive at our section on professional communication in writing and speech. So much of modern work happens through emails, instant messages, reports. The language we choose here is critical. The right phrase can build trust and get you what you need. The wrong one can create friction and misunderstandings. You will learn how to soften requests, push back on ideas without being disagreeable, follow up without nagging, close conversations with confidence. Let's start with an essential phrase for polite requests. Just wanted to follow up. A gentle way to check the status of something previously requested or discussed. Softer than asking, "Have you done this yet?" Email example. "Hi Sarah, just wanted to follow up on the invoice I sent last week. Please let me know if you have any questions."
Hey Mark, I just wanted to follow up on our chat from yesterday about the report.
Common mistake. Using it too frequently or too soon can feel passive-aggressive. Alternative. Could you please provide an update on the invoice? Next, for future reference. Use this for info that may not be needed now, but will be useful later. Email example. I've attached the full project plan for future reference.
The contact person for that vendor is Maria, just for future reference.
Wrong usage. Attaching it to urgent, time-sensitive information. Formal alternative. For your records. Casual spoken. Here's the info for later. Next, let me know your thoughts. A collaborative, polite way to ask for opinion or feedback. Email example. I've drafted the proposal and attached it below. Please let me know your thoughts when you have a moment.
I'm thinking of moving the deadline to Friday. Let me know your thoughts.
Don't use it when you're not genuinely open to feedback. It's misleading. Formal alternative. I would welcome your feedback on this. Next, to touch base. Means a brief contact or short conversation to get an update. Less formal than scheduling a full meeting. Email example. Hi team, I'd like to touch base early next week to see how everyone is progressing on their tasks.
Let's touch base tomorrow morning about the client feedback.
Mistake. Saying let's touch base, then launching into a long, detailed meeting. Alternatives. Let's check in, or let's connect briefly. Welcome to our final and most advanced section. Here, we move beyond everyday execution into the language of leadership and strategy. These expressions signal to others that you are thinking beyond immediate tasks and about the bigger picture. Using these phrases can help you sound senior, experienced, and strategic in high-stakes conversations. We'll cover terms related to risk, opportunity, performance. For each term, why it signals confidence, how to use it, and when not to use it. Let's elevate your business English. Next term, to double-click on that. It's an evolution of to drill down. It means to examine a specific point in much greater detail. It's very current in corporate and tech circles. Example in a strategy meeting. That's a really interesting insight on market trends. I'd like to double-click on the data for the Asia-Pacific region. Wrong usage. Using it for a simple, non-detailed topic can sound buzzword-heavy. Example wrong. Let's double-click on what time we should get lunch. Softer alternative. Could we explore that in more detail? Next, skin in the game. This refers to having a personal investment or risk in a particular outcome. When you have skin in the game, you are personally committed because you have something to lose. Example, I want our project leads to have real skin in the game, so we're tying bonuses to the project's success. This signals you understand the connection between personal accountability and results. Wrong use. Don't use it to describe simple effort like I worked all weekend. It specifically relates to a tangible stake. Softer alternative. I'm personally invested in this outcome. Next phrase, what's the delta? Delta is the fourth letter of the Greek alphabet and represents change or difference. In business, asking what's the delta asks, what's the difference between two things? Example, option A is $50,000 and option B is $65,000. What's the delta in terms of features to justify that extra cost? Using this phrase shows you're analytical and focused on quantifiable differences. Don't use it for non-quantifiable things like feelings. Alternative, what's the key difference here? Next expression, to pressure test an idea. It means to critically examine a plan to find its weaknesses and see if it holds up. It's about proactively looking for potential problems before they happen. Example, before we present to the board, I want our team to pressure test the financial projections. This signals that you are a strategic, forward-thinking professional who values rigor. Wrong use. Don't say it about a finished, unchangeable decision. Softer, let's review this for any potential issues. Or, can we play devil's advocate for a minute? We have come to the end of our journey through essential business phrases that can truly transform your professional life. We started by acknowledging the invisible barrier, the gap between knowing English and knowing the language of the workplace. We set out to fix that, not by memorizing a dictionary, but by learning the real living language that powers decisions, meetings, emails, and offices across the US and Canada. You have now been equipped with expressions used in daily conversations, the corporate language of meetings, the subtle art of professional politeness in writing, and the advanced vocabulary of strategic leadership. You have every tool you need to move forward. The most important takeaway from our time together is that confidence comes from competence. Every phrase we broke down, circling back, pressure testing an idea, is a tool that builds that competence. When you understand what is being said in a high-stakes meeting, you feel more secure. When you can articulate your own ideas with precision and professionalism, you feel more powerful. You no longer have to feel like you are on the outside looking in, trying to decode a secret language. You now have the key to that language. New opportunities, stronger relationships, the recognition you deserve for your hard work and great ideas. Remember, this is not about changing who you are. It is about giving you the vocabulary to express your authentic self more effectively in a professional context. The goal was never to make you sound like a corporate robot, but to give you the flexibility to choose the right words for the right situation. Whether you need to gently touch base on a project, professionally push back on an unrealistic deadline, or strategically discuss the delta between two options, you now have a rich toolkit at your disposal. This knowledge empowers you to navigate complex workplace dynamics with grace and authority, ensuring your voice is not just heard but respected. The journey from feeling hesitant to feeling confident is a process, and you have just taken the most important step, acquiring the knowledge. You have seen the simple definitions, real-world examples, common mistakes to avoid, and flexible alternatives for each key expression. You have the roadmap. The next phase is about turning that knowledge into a natural, almost effortless skill. It's about taking these phrases off the page and bringing them into your daily work life, one conversation at a time. And that is exactly what we are going to focus on next, building a simple, sustainable habit of practice. Knowledge is powerful, but knowledge put into practice is transformative. The secret is not to cram them all at once. Use one new term every day, just one. Small, manageable goals build lasting habits without overwhelm. Pick one expression in the morning. Maybe it's bandwidth. Use it in one conversation, one email, or even just to yourself. This micro-practice builds fluency. A few practical tips. First, pause and repeat. Say the phrases out loud as you go back through the sections. Hear them in your own voice. This builds muscle memory and makes the words feel familiar in real conversations. It bridges thinking and saying. Second, make a cheat sheet of 5 to 10 phrases for the week. Keep it on your desk or as a phone note. The visual reminder prompts practice. Use your phrase in one real-world context: a team meeting, a chat with a colleague, or an email to your manager. Example: phrase odds on the same page. In a meeting: thanks for clarifying that. I think we're all on the same page now. In an email: I've outlined the next steps below to ensure we are on the same page. Stakes are low. The reward, a small boost in confidence, is immediate. Each use reinforces learning. Don't fear mistakes. Every native speaker started the same way. Awkward uses are part of learning. The goal is practice, not perfection. If it feels clumsy, that's okay. Reflect. Think about how you might say it differently next time and move on. Be persistent. Use one new term each day and watch your vocabulary and confidence grow. This is practice, not performance. Your learning journey does not have to end here. One of the most powerful ways to solidify your understanding is to engage with a community of fellow learners and professionals. The experiences of others can provide incredible insight into how these expressions are used across industries and companies. You are not alone on this path. Sharing your journey accelerates your growth and helps others. I want to personally invite you to join the conversation and contribute your experiences. Think about the phrases we covered today. Which expression do you hear all the time but never fully understood? Corporate buzzword: alignment. Email softener: just wanted to follow up. Go to the comments below and share it. By sharing, you reinforce your own learning and create a lightbulb moment for someone else. Read comments to see more real-world examples and contexts. This is your space to ask questions. Heard a business term we missed? Post it in the comments. The community and I can help demystify it. This collaborative environment extends beyond this guide. It's a living extension of our lesson where you refine your understanding and stay current. Your curiosity and engagement fuel everyone's learning. Share your successes. Used a new phrase in a meeting? Share the rush of confidence. Pressure tested an idea and caught an issue? Asked about your team's bandwidth and had a productive workload conversation? Those stories motivate others. They prove this method works and that confident communication is attainable. Join the discussion, ask questions, and share your journey. Let's continue to learn and grow together. As we close our time together, I want to leave you with one final, crucial thought. Sounding confident at work is a practice, not a gift. No one is born knowing how to speak business English. It is a skill that is learned, honed, and perfected over time through intentional effort. You have already done the hard work of learning the fundamentals here today. You have the knowledge, you have the tools, and a clear, simple plan for how to practice. Trust in that process. Be patient and be compassionate with yourself as you incorporate these new expressions into your professional life. Every small step forward is a victory. To make sure you can easily return to this resource, I encourage you to save this guide, save this video. Think of it as your personal reference library. Whenever you are about to enter a big meeting or write an important email and want to feel extra prepared, come back and review the relevant section. Re-watch it periodically to keep the phrases fresh in your mind. Repetition is the mother of skill. Having this guide available whenever you need it will be a powerful asset in your development as a confident and effective communicator. It is a resource you can grow with throughout your career. If you found this guide helpful and you're serious about mastering the language of the professional world, make sure you subscribe. We are constantly creating new resources designed to help you navigate the workplace with confidence, from negotiation skills to presentation techniques to advanced communication strategies. Subscribing ensures you will not miss future lessons that help you continue to grow, advance in your career, and achieve your biggest professional goals. We are committed to being your trusted partner on this journey, providing practical, real-world advice every step of the way. Thank you for investing this time in yourself and in your career. You have taken a significant step toward closing the gap between your potential and your performance. Remember the promise from the beginning to fix that feeling of being lost in translation and to empower you to speak with clarity and confidence. The roadmap is now in your hands. Start with one phrase tomorrow, then another the next day. Before you know it, you will not just be participating in the conversation, you will be leading it. I am so excited to see all that you will accomplish.